Ambassador Vance stood before the massive circular chamber of the Galactic Senate. Thousands of alien species watched her from their elevated seats. Some had tentacles. Others had multiple eyes or crystalline bodies. The delegation floated in anti-gravity pods. They clicked their mandibles nervously. For 300 years, humanity had been part of the galactic community. They were considered the quiet species, the polite newcomers, the ones who smiled too much and asked too many questions. Other species found humans strange but harmless. They were soft creatures from a harsh world, yet they seemed to have no natural weapons, no claws, no venom, no armored shells. The Senate had classified Earth as a Category 9. This classification puzzled everyone. How could such fragile beings survive such a dangerous planet? Most assumed humans had simply gotten lucky. Evolution had been kind to them somehow. High Chancellor, a towering reptilian being with scales of deep purple, raised his staff to silence the chamber. His species, had ruled the Senate for. They were predators themselves, though civilized ones. "We have gathered today to address the situation," announced. His voice echoed through the chamber. "The Dominion has attacked 17 human colonies along the Outer Rim. They have taken prisoners. They have destroyed civilian settlements." Murmurs spread through the Senate. They were known as raiders. They attacked weak species and avoided strong ones. Most species considered humans an easy target. Ambassador Vance remained calm. Her expression was neutral. She had been trained for moments like this. "The Galactic Council requests that humanity submit a formal complaint," continued. "We will establish a committee to investigate these claims. The process will take approximately 18 standard cycles." 18 cycles. That was 3 Earth years. 3 years while human families remained prisoners. 3 years while more colonies burned. Vance nodded slowly. "The Council wishes to form a committee." "That is the proper procedure," said Senator, a crystalline being who represented the Trade Federation. "All species must follow proper procedure." Several other senators agreed. The Galactic Senate loved procedures. They had procedures for everything. War required 700 forms and unanimous approval from 12 subcommittees. Vance turned to face the full assembly. Her brown eyes moved across the chamber. Something changed in her posture. It was subtle at first. Her shoulders squared. Her chin lifted slightly. The polite diplomatic smile faded from her face. "I must inform this Senate of something," she said. Her voice was calm but carried a different weight now. "Humanity has already responded to the attacks." Silence fell across the chamber, complete and total silence. High Chancellor leaned forward. "What do you mean, Ambassador? What response?" 48 hours ago, the human defense fleet entered space. As of 6 hours ago, their military command structure no longer exists. Their raider fleet has been reduced by 87%. Their home world is currently surrounded by our ships. The chamber erupted into chaos. Thousands of voices spoke at once. Tentacles waved, wings fluttered, mandibles clicked furiously. "Impossible," shouted Senator of the Collective. "Humans have no military fleet. Your species focuses on science and trade." Vance smiled. It was not the warm smile the Senate was used to. This smile showed teeth. Among humans, showing teeth could mean many things. Among predators, it meant something specific. "We have always had a fleet," she said simply. "We just never needed to use it." High Chancellor activated the central viewing screen. Images appeared from space. What the Senate saw made them freeze in horror. Human warships filled the display. They were not beautiful ships. They were not elegant or graceful like cruisers. These ships looked brutal. They looked angry. They looked like they had been designed by creatures who understood violence on a fundamental level. The footage showed these ships in combat. Raiders fired upon them. The human ships absorbed the damage and kept coming. They did not stop. They did not retreat. They advanced through weapons fire like it meant nothing. Then the human ships fired back. The Senate watched vessels explode, one after another. The human weapons were efficient and devastating. There was no warning, no negotiation, just destruction. This is unprecedented, whispered Senator. His crystalline form had turned pale. No species responds with such force, such speed. This violates 17 protocols of engagement. Ambassador Vance turned to face him. They took human children as prisoners, Senator. They broadcast footage of human colonists being executed for entertainment. They violated our people. But the procedures, Senator began. Procedures are for those who have time, Vance interrupted. When someone threatens our families, we do not have time. We have instincts. The word hung in the air, instincts. High Chancellor studied the human ambassador with new eyes. He was a predator himself. He recognized something in her now, something his ancestors would have understood, something that made the scales on his neck rise in warning. Ambassador Vance, he said carefully, perhaps you could explain these instincts to the Senate. Vance nodded. She walked to the center of the chamber floor. Every eye in the room watched her. Earth is she began. You all know this. What you do not understand is what that truly means. For millions of years, our ancestors survived by being afraid. They were small creatures in a world filled with predators. They were hunted every single day. She paused, letting her words sink in. But something strange happened. Instead of evolving to run faster or hide better, our ancestors evolved to fight back. They developed endurance that let them chase prey for days without stopping. They developed minds that could plan and coordinate. They developed the ability to throw objects with lethal accuracy. The Senate listened in silence. Many of them had never heard this history. Most importantly, Vance continued, they developed the ability to suppress their fear. Not eliminate it, suppress it. When danger came, when their families were threatened, something inside them would activate. We call it many things. Adrenaline, fight or flight, the survival instinct. She looked around the chamber. But it is more than that. It is ancient programming buried deep in our minds. Programming that says, when cornered, become dangerous. When your tribe is threatened, become deadly. When pushed too far, stop being civilized. Senator raised a manipulator arm. Are you saying humans can become different? I am saying, Vance replied, that the humans you have known for 300 years are humans at peace. We smile, we trade, we explore. We ask questions and sign treaties and follow your procedures, because we choose to, because we want to be civilized, because we spent thousands of years learning to control what lives inside us. She stepped closer to the viewing screen, which still showed human warships surrounding the home world. But when something threatens our children, when something attacks our homes, when something pushes humanity beyond our tolerance, the ancient programming activates, the instincts wake up, and you see what we truly are. High Chancellor stood from his seat. His tall form cast a shadow across the chamber floor. What are you truly, Ambassador? Vance met his gaze without flinching. We are the species that killed every other predator on our planet. We are the species that hunted the hunters. We are the species that looked at the most dangerous creatures Earth ever produced and said, we can take them. The Chancellor's throat tightened. He understood now. He finally understood. Your planet had megafauna, he said slowly. Giant predators, massive carnivores. Yes. And your species eliminated them. Every single one that threatened us, Vance confirmed. Not because we had to for survival, because we refused to share our world with anything that might hurt our families. Because deep down in the oldest parts of our brains, humanity believes one fundamental truth. Nothing is allowed to threaten our children and life. The Senate chamber had become absolutely still. Even the floating had stopped moving. Every species present was recalculating their understanding of humanity. Senator spoke, his voice shaking. The kindness, the diplomacy, The patience you have shown us for 3 centuries is genuine, Vance assured him. We truly do prefer peace. We honestly want to be friends with everyone. The smiles are real. The curiosity is real. We love meeting new species and learning new things. That is also who we are. She paused. But it is not all we are. You have seen humanity in daylight. You have never seen what we become in the dark, when the fires are burning, when the children are screaming, when something has made the terrible mistake of waking the thing that sleeps inside us. High Chancellor slowly sat back down. For the first time in his long career, he felt something he had not felt since childhood. He felt like prey. What will happen to he asked. That depends entirely on them, Vance replied. They can return our people unharmed and surrender their leadership for trial. If they do this, humanity will withdraw. We will go back to being the friendly species you know. The instincts will go dormant again. We will smile and trade and ask questions like nothing happened. And if they refuse? Ambassador Vance was silent for a long moment. When she spoke again, her voice was soft, almost gentle. They have an empire of 47 worlds. If they refuse, they will have 0 worlds, not conquered, not occupied, simply gone, every ship, every station, every colony erased, as if they never existed. Genocide, gasped Senator. Consequence, Vance corrected. Humanity does not start conflicts. We end them, permanently. We did it on Earth for 10,000 years. Species that threatened us are now fossils. Civilizations that attacked us are now archaeology lessons. We learned long ago that the best way to protect your family is to make sure threats never come back. She turned to address the full Senate one final time. This is my message to the galactic community. Humanity wants peace. We genuinely, honestly, deeply want peace. We will trade with you. We will share technology with you. We will be the best friends you have ever had. But do not mistake our kindness for weakness. Do not mistake our patience for submission. And never ever make the mistake of threatening our children. She straightened her uniform. Because if you do, you will not face human diplomats. You will face human warriors. And I promise you this. The galaxy has never seen anything like human warriors when they are properly motivated. We are hoping you never have to see them. We are hoping they choose to surrender. Because if they do not, the galaxy will learn what a species truly looks like when it stops being polite. Ambassador Vance walked back to her position. The chamber remained silent for a very long time. 3 days later, they surrendered unconditionally. Every human prisoner was returned unharmed. The human fleet as promised. Ambassador Vance went back to smiling and asking questions and being wonderfully friendly. But the Galactic Senate never forgot what they learned that day, and they never, ever considered threatening humanity again. The ancient instincts went back to sleep. Waiting, just in case.